Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday, hump day, here in San Antonio. And yes, I have extra sunlight on my chest area today, and I'm dressed up. I don't normally wear jackets and blazers for pickup lines, but I made an exception today because it's a big show, if you will. Emphasis on big. We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. This is Pickup Lines. I am your humble host, Ernie Zuniga. Pickup Lines, presented by Gamez Law Fights. And yeah, whether I'm wearing a suit and tie or a shirt or whatever, the gloves remain because Gamez Law has been unbelievable. They're celebrating 50 years in 2023. And so a salute to Joe Gamez, Carmen Gamez, and that entire family. I've also mentioned some of my other sponsors here on the post, and I appreciate all of you who have supported them and had great things to say about them. Mia's Mexican Grill in Helotes, just delicious Mexican food, Tex-Mex, the margaritas, the chips and salsa, the tortillas, all the good stuff that you want. Maybe today or a happy hour or this weekend for the football game, whatever. Mia's Mexican Grill there at 1604 in Bandera. And actually not too far across the highway from Mia's is Rudy's Flooring and Remodeling. And Rudy Esquivel, I need to post a video he sent me of this remodeling job that he just did the other day of a coffee bar, right? Like imagine your house or your kitchen area or your dining room with a coffee bar, a place to put all your coffee stuff. I'll show it. I'll post it later on today so you can see what I mean. And also, Generations Federal Credit Union came on board a week or so ago, and we're looking forward to working together. They've got a brand new building they're opening soon on 410, and some great things that they're doing for their customers and those who just need help with, money issues, fraud protection, those kinds of things. So more to come on that. And last but not least, the Nonprofit Council, which is the very reason we're here today. So without further ado, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend, and the CEO of the Nonprofit Council. Come on in, Scott. Scott McAninch is in the house. Oh, and get comfortable and cozy. Hello, sir.
Hello. Thanks for picking me up off the street.
Right. Yes, picking you up, if you will. It's much better in the AC, right?
Oh, yeah. And my glasses will untint.
Oh, okay.
But,
I didn't know
I
if
just
this
can't
was
see you.
You were going for the Deion Sanders primetime look.
No, I just can't see anything. Not that I need to.
Yeah.
But, it's okay.
I love it. It's great to be here. We're actually in the parking lot outside the Nonprofit Council here on 410,
right?
Which is a building that people have probably driven by 100 million times and maybe didn't realize you guys have been here.
Right, and back in the day, like in the 80s when I was working in TV, we used to call this the spaceship. Because it was laying down on its side. It's this big atrium.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool.
I just went inside a little while ago, and in all these years of being in San Antonio, I don't think I'd ever stepped foot inside, and there's a wow factor when you walk in there.
That atrium is awesome. Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. But beneath the atrium or beyond the atrium is where
this little office.
Little office, but doing big things.
Big
things, and I'm extra appreciative that you're here because I was going to use the Super Bowl analogy. I mean, this is quite literally and figuratively a big week for you and all of the people that work with the Nonprofit Council.
Yeah, it is. This is actually the day, as Mercedes said, it's the day that we kick off Big Give, which is our largest program in the Nonprofit Council, and it touches hundreds of nonprofits.
Yeah.
And, we serve nonprofits in our day-to-day work through the council, but every year, every September, it comes around, and whether you're a member or not, we're here to provide a platform for you to raise money for the needs that your agency has.
And there's so many amazing agencies, and I want to talk to you more about that here in just a few minutes. But I was struck because either I forgot or it just slipped my mind. You and I have something in common in that you started your career once upon a time in the world of TV news, and
I did.
You spent time at KABB at Fox San Antonio, my old stomping ground.
Actually, I helped launch the station back in '86.
I wasn't going to date you, but
I'm going to do it because I look so good.
Right? Yeah, no, you've aged well. '86.
'86. Yeah, I went from Ken's.
Okay.
In promotions over to KABB, and we launched the show or the station.
Right.
And then, forgive me if I forget the date, but I think it was 92, 93 we launched the 9 o'clock news.
Yeah, it was about 93, 94.
Okay.
Yeah, you're spot on when the 9 o'clock news launched. And then our morning show didn't come on the scene until 2006.
And I was long gone.
You were long gone. I came to KBB in 99 because I started doing sports there, but you and I missed each other by...
Not long.
Not too long.
Not long. And then I went to Florida and
right.
flipped a station there from an NBC affiliate to WB. And
right.
Came back here, back into the business, radio, worked at KTFM, KTSA.
Yeah.
And went to News 9, the old defunct
I remember News 9.
24-hour station, launched that. And then when it closed, I'm like, I'm done.
I remember when it closed very vividly, and I remember that building and everything. Yeah, it was a beautiful building.
Was fabulous.
I remember that. But it closed, and I would imagine you were at a point where, like a crossroads, like, what am I going to do? And did the phone ring or something happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally a month. Well, see, we were sponsors for Big Brothers Big Sisters
right.
for a full year, and we sponsored their parade and fiesta, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You know? And so when I lost my job,
right.
The CEO, Beth Myers, reached out to me and was like, hey, I have an opportunity for you. I want you to come consult for the Nonprofit Council. We have no staff. We're all volunteer. All the CEOs are running it, and we just don't know what to do. Do we close it? Do we move
right.
forward? How do we grow it? So I took that on, and 17 years later, here it is.
Unbelievable.
Here it is.
But at the time, though, there had to have been, I'm guessing, a fraction of the nonprofits that will benefit now from the Big Give. And I mean, at the time, I mean, what did you think about taking this on? And did you ever think you'd spend 17 years doing it? Yeah.
I took it on as, okay, I'll do some consulting.
Right.
You know, I think everyone at some point in their career, when they lose their job or they leave or they decide, I kind of want to do something else. I think consulting is sort of the path.
I know about that. Yeah.
So I did that for a year. And, you know, Ernie, I worked with nonprofits just on the surface through News 9 and Ken's KBB, but it was always like, can you run free PSAs for me? Or can you do coverage? And it was never really in depth. And so talking to all these members, figuring out what they did, what the council could be.
Right.
I just thought, you know, this is kind of like a calling now. These agencies do a hell of a lot of work in the community, and not a lot of people know about it, including me at the time.
And this was pre or infancy of social media, right?
Oh, this was before.
Yes. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. This was.
So you had to do ad buys on TV stations and radio stations and PSAs.
It was the only way to get the message out.
The newspaper or whatever.
That's it.
I mean, it's really remarkable.
Traditional media was the only way nonprofits had. Yeah. It was out of their reach, expensive.
Because that's the thing. Like this, obviously, social media for the most part is free.
Yep.
And it can be used for amazing, great things. So I would imagine as we speak, leading us up to the Big Give, and I'll let you kind of set it up. The Big Give. I need to do like a. Would you like a
We're
voice?
all keyed up.
Yeah, we're all keyed up.
I mean, I'll let Mercedes
Wait. Oh, wait a minute. I see.
I thought I saw someone.
She looks
lurking,
familiar.
You know.
So, you know this person,
She's a lurker.
Right? You'll vouch for her? Okay.
Can I get a ride?
You can get a ride. Yeah.
Okay.
The car's not moving, but wait a minute. What do we have here?
Who are you bringing with you?
What is this?
Well, here.
What?
Pepper!
Pepper?
I'm so glad y'all found me on the side of the road.
Hi.
I saw you flinging around over there on the street, and I was like, Ernie, she's bothering me.
So just a point of reference, just to be clear, I don't make it a habit of, I don't pick up hitchhikers or vagrants or people on the side of the road, but we'll vouch for Mercedes Alhaj here.
Not so much Pepper.
Pepper, well, let's see. Mercedes is here. Welcome in. Get comfortable.
Thank you. I'm gonna put Pepper down here.
Please put Pepper.
He's kind of big.
Please put Pepper.
Except for his hand.
Yes.
His hand is gonna kind of. Hi.
Oh my gosh. We should mention you're the COO of the Nonprofit Council, so you have skin in the game, if you will, for the Nonprofit Council and obviously the Big Give.
Yes.
So I guess you should set up, and you and Pepper can set up the Big Give, the timeline, when it's going to happen, and who ultimately will benefit from this week.
So the Big Give is happening tonight at 6 o'clock is when it
starts. About 7 hours and 51 minutes from now.
I'm like giddy. I'm like a little child. On Christmas Eve, I'm like nervous. I'm excited.
And then she keys me up.
Is Santa gonna come tonight?
Yes, he will.
And ultimately, he always does.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Santa usually comes, and by that she means people who donate money for these nonprofits. So the website is open now for early giving.
It is.
But at 6 o'clock tonight, it's a 24-hour, like a telethon or a giving period or
minus the phone.
Online, right? Minus the phones and everything. But I had a Jerry Lewis telethon moment there. I was thinking back.
I know.
But now with the technology and everything,
it's so easy.
At 6 o'clock, people can call tonight. I guess you should explain for people who are new to the Big Give or maybe haven't participated before how exactly it works.
Sure. TheBigGive.org is the website to go to, and that's where you can search hundreds of nonprofits. We have over 400 nonprofits participating this year, raising money, raising awareness of all their missions, and you go online. If you already know about a nonprofit that you support or like, you can search for them, or if you don't know where to start, you can start with, hey, I care about animals, or I care about veterans, or food insecurity, or education, or arts, or you name it. There's a nonprofit out there that is filling those needs in our community. And so go online and make a donation of any amount. And so kind of referencing Santa Claus, is he going to show up? Every year I'm nervous. I'm like, is our community going to show up for our nonprofits? And they always do. And I still get nervous, I still get excited, but ultimately they always do show up.
And did I read the number? Is it 400 plus that will benefit from this?
Correct.
Some people might not even realize there are 400 nonprofits to begin with in our area.
And more.
That's not all of them, I know.
And we're in a 17-county area. So
that's important to remind you.
Comal, we're down in Wilson, Carnes, going out west to Uvalde. I mean, it's a huge footprint. Mm-hmm. So when she was talking about the search, you can go like animals. Right. You can also search Kerr County. Right. Or Comal, and those agencies will show up.
Is it a stretch, or is it safe to say that today will be the biggest day in terms of giving and fundraising for a lot of these nonprofits?
Absolutely. There are many, many agencies that a good portion of their operating budget is raised in the 24 hours of Big Give. Yeah. So it is really important, and I think it's also important to know that the money raised here stays here in our community.
Right. Very important. It doesn't go off to another country or another part of the United States and everything. It does all stay here. But what I love about it too is the 24 hours. You've slotted times where there's certain chunks of minutes, or if you will, or opportunities where money can be multiplied or challenges can be made and accepted. Those kinds of things.
Match minutes.
That's my favorite part about Big Give, is because when those match minutes, it's pools of money that are available for matching. So a donor goes online during these designated times. You can click on the prize page and see those different minute designations. And so when the donor makes a gift, it could potentially be matched. And so when those minutes are activated, and when you're watching the website, because there's a rolling ticker of the money coming in, that's what excites me, because it's like that's like, I saw Santa in the sky. Here comes the money, because it's fun.
Because for example, 1 minute, bring a $10,000 match minute. Right. Last year, one of them brought in
$80,000.
That's crazy.
In one minute.
60 seconds, like in the time it's taken her to explain this.
Yes.
And so I was going to ask too, because I should mention, you've got the Nonprofit Council shirt on, and you guys are celebrating 20 years. This year, and then she's got the Big Give shirt on, and you're celebrating Big Give is 10 years.
10.
So this is a super important year, and I gotta believe in the last decade of the Big Give, there's been moments, just these unbelievable moments that exceed your expectations, or you look at each other and I can't believe that just happened.
Right.
Is there something that comes to mind?
Well, I think when the match minutes first started, we couldn't believe the amount of money coming in, because normally
we were nervous too.
We were nervous about that. Not to keep bringing it up, but it is.
No. I mean,
before match minutes existed, the money would just be kind of coming in steadily, which is wonderful, but it's exciting to see, and that's why I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the numbers just can't even catch up. And just watch it, watch it. It's
like a tote board that updates in real time, essentially, right?
Yes.
And my side was, oh my God, is the platform going to be able to survive?
Is it going to crash, or is it going to?
Number of donors coming in 1 minute, and our GiveGab support, the website.
Yes.
It runs beautifully.
Yeah.
Beautifully.
if people really stop and think about it, or maybe they can off the top of their head, I would imagine every person watching this and the people they know have either been directly impacted by a nonprofit over the years, or certainly know somebody that has.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, and as we talked about earlier, like I was only touching the surface of nonprofits and what they did when I was in TV, and then working in that space now for 17 years, you do realize. And so to celebrate the council's 20 year, which you were,
I was there.
You were there.
Yeah, it was great at the Tobin Center.
You know, we released and premiered this short film,
yeah,
A Day Without Nonprofits. It's on our website under
very
the
powerful
advocacy tab.
On the Nonprofit Council website.
On the Nonprofit Council, tncouncil.org.
Right.
It brings me to tears every time, because it's such a powerful story, and it tells the importance of the sector that I don't think people think about, and it really makes them think this is what the city or our community or our country is, because without these nonprofits, it'd be a whole lot different.
Right, and some people watching this might say, "Listen, I don't have $10,000. I don't have $1 million." But I bet you're going to say every little bit helps, and if you match it with one of those minutes, then it multiplies.
Minimum
$10. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because I know it's called the Big Give, and people may have that perception I have to give a big gift. That's not true. Yeah. $10 is the minimum. And I look at every donation on the back end, because I do all the back end reporting after the event and send out the prize money. That $5 million plus that we raise in the 24 hours is almost exclusively $20, $10, $50. It's not giant gifts. It's not, and that's incredible to me, because that does show the generosity of our community, that even though they may only have an extra $10, that they are willing to give it.
Well, listen, it's, what is it, a couple of coffees at Starbucks, or some scratch-off lottery tickets, or whatever your vice is, or your, think of it that way. I do want to reset here, because we're about 15 minutes in. This is Pickup Lines, presented by Gamez Law Firm, with our friends from the Nonprofit Council today, Scott McAninch, the CEO, and Mercedes Alhaj, the COO. But I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Pepper, because Pepper, and this is the smaller, the real Pepper would not fit in the vehicle.
The head's too big.
He's got a big head. So that's the problem. But explain, how did Pepper come on the scene, and what's his significance?
Well, okay, you know how people had COVID puppies?
Sure.
Maybe some COVID babies.
We got a COVID dog, I can tell you that.
Okay, this is a COVID mascot. We were, it kind of is. So, the spirit of Big Give has always been fun and a celebration, but when the pandemic hit, clearly we were all struggling in some way or another, and nonprofits were the boots on the ground. They were the ones, really making sure things were running smoothly as much as possible. Yeah. So when our Big Give in the year 2020 was coming around, it was in the spring. Yeah. And so just as the site was about to open for early giving, the city shut down. Yeah. And so it became real serious real quick. I mean, I think we were all kind of taken aback by the speed at which our city shut down. And so the mayor, Nuremberg, called Scott, and you want to pick
on
up
a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
Yeah, traveling back from Boston, trying to get out of the East Coast.
Oh, no.
But anyway, he said, I know Big Give is opening officially on Thursday this week, but here's what's happening. The city's doing this and shutting. Can you flip it and make it a relief site for any nonprofit to come in?
Because all the nonprofits on the Big Give site are vetted.
Yes.
We make sure they're in good standing with the IRS. And so he knew that our platform had all the nonprofits had been vetted. And so we were able to do that. And then there were over
400 and almost 450 that year. Mm-hmm. So we did that. The platform, again, GiveGab, flipped it.
We rebranded it
within 4 days.
Right.
And it was the relief side, and we raised
about $1 million.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I remember that the year that Fiesta was canceled, I mean, you think about, we're not going to have NIOSA and the parades and everything. My mind immediately went to the nonprofits. Yeah. All those nonprofits that rely so much on the money from all of the sales of Fiesta. That's where my mind went.
Right. I mean, it was gone.
Yeah.
Galas, spring
luncheons,
runs, all of it.
All of it.
And so this helped out in some way. We think there were other funding going on in the community. But then we had to pause and say, okay, well, when are we going to do it? We need to do Big Give. We had sponsors, we had money that was already allocated to prizes. So we thought we can't wait a year. It's just there's too much.
The needs are very great at this moment.
So we brought it back, and we did it in that atrium, live streaming. And a few months before, we're like Mercedes said, we need something fun.
We need something that's going to lift your spirits up. I mean, I know you can't see
now,
Pepper
this was
very well.
This was not the first Pepper.
No.
The first Pepper was a little dicey. A little dicey.
It was an Amazon purchase.
It was an Amazon purchase.
It's kind of floppy. It wasn't really
okay.
It was kind of an experiment.
Yeah.
But we decided we need something fun, something to bring a smile to people's faces since we can't be in person. But this is something that's just kind of playful and fun. Trying to bring the spirit of Big Give Back because it is a celebration ultimately of what the nonprofits and the work that they do. Besides a fundraiser, and so we thought, what, Pepper, San Antonio, spicy, hot, Pepper.
I love it.
So that's how Pepper was born.
I've met the real Pepper, and Pepper is pretty cool. And hot, I guess, at the same time.
Hot. I wore that costume last week.
What did you really?
She means hot.
It was very
outside.
Hot at Market Square.
Oh, gosh. Oh, at Market Square.
Now, to be fair, we do, for the costume wear, we have an ice vest. We have a neck fan, but she's just like,
I refuse
I don't need
thinking it was
I don't need it.
No, I did need it.
She's
my God.
bobbing.
You're stronger.
That's a nonprofit. That's very nonprofit-y. If you, whatever needs to be done.
Whatever you do.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great line.
Because there's only two of us. So it's like,
that.
it's either you or me, and I can't fit in it.
I wonder how that happened.
That's very well, you're the boss. I guess you can,
That's true.
Okay, so let's set the scene, if you will. 6 o'clock today is when the clock starts. Give me an idea of what the next 7 hours will be like for the two of you.
Fun and crazy. We do have an event, and the public is welcome to come to at the McIntyre's North Star. Pepper, the real Pepper, will be there.
Oh, yeah.
Nonprofits are going to be there. It's kind of an open house. Come meet us. The site's kicking off. So the party's from 5 to 7 at McIntyre's North Star, and so we'll have they have a lot of screens. They're going to have the website up on one of the big screens so we can see the site turn on.
Yeah.
So we're literally just for where you to wonder where we're in the parking lot of the Nonprofit Council, which is right off of 410, where, like McCullough.
Yeah.
McIntyre's is literally in the parking lot, or essentially in the parking lot, like I'm looking at it right here, of your building, just to give people an idea. McIntyre's is relatively new, but it's a fantastic place, like you said, with the big screens and everything. And
it's fun, it's colorful, it's indoor, outdoor, it's pet friendly, it's family friendly during those times. So hoping folks will come by and say hello, come meet the Big Give team and Pepper.
Yeah, prepping for that. Got to go pick up a big old vehicle to get Pepper in to travel around tomorrow. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I shove him into my car. It's a smaller car.
I'd loan you mine, but it wouldn't work, obviously.
No, but so we'll do that. We've got to pick up some items on the way. But we've got our project manager here from the platform. So everything, she's monitoring things on the site.
That's great. So 6 o'clock tonight, but then it's a 24-hour. And I love how, if you've watched social media recently, a lot of the nonprofits have been lobbying, if you will, or kind of campaigning, reminding everybody that today's the day.
Social media, email,
all of it. The blasts are out there.
Yeah.
If there's a nonprofit that is watching this, or an upstart, if you will, that wants to get in on this for future big gives, like, what is the vetting process like, or how do they get in touch with you guys?
Well, registration for the nonprofits opens in May of every year. We encourage folks that if they've never participated before, or they're new to their agency, even though their agency's participated, to register early, because we do offer some online trainings over the summer. And then we have a one-day training camp in person all day in August, early August. And that's a chance for you to learn from your peers. We kind of have a beginner's session in the morning so that we can kind of get them up to speed. So we try to offer a lot of support to help you have a successful day, because now it's too late to register for this year. So once you register your nonprofit, it just takes a matter of a few business days for us to check your IRS status and get your bank account. Because, I don't know if you guys talked about this, the money that is going through the platform as a donor, you make a donation, it goes straight to the nonprofit's bank account within 5 to 7 days.
Yeah, because a lot of people, and that's an excellent point, just what is the process like? Like, what's the turnaround? So
yeah, it's quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's usually quicker, but we just use that buffer just
yeah.
No.
But, that way they can use it, within 5 days.
Right. Do other cities do big gives or something similar like this, or who gets credit for conceiving this idea 10, 11 years ago?
Well, I will say, locally, the person who brought the idea here has been a supporter for 10 years,
Yeah.
Linda McDavitt, with the Genevieve and Ward Orsinger Foundation.
Okay.
She lives in Austin. They launched their Giving Day a year before ours, and she was just giddy about it and said, the council needs to do this and bring it to San Antonio. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm one employee,
right?
But let's do it. And and so we did. And the Area Foundation was our early on partner for about 5 years, to help us get it off the ground. And then Mercedes joined me 7 years later.
Yeah.
This 7 years ago, and it has taken off since then. I mean, it's a joy to do, and it's the one time a year that we really are just super excited.
Yeah,
because it touches so many.
Can you tell?
I'm picking up on it right now. If I could bottle it up somehow and take it with me. But listen, I mean, I know this is a huge day, and I know you guys are super excited and everything. But let's be honest. I mean, this is tough work. I mean, it's a lot of difficult days. I'm sure that you have sometimes, and nonprofits that kind of have struggled over the years. But what do you enjoy? I'll ask both of you. But what do you enjoy most about? Is today the reward, the payoff, or what do you enjoy the most?
Today is a payoff. I mean, I will say this time of year is when we have the most energy. But honestly, throughout the year, we see that the work that the council does to bring the CEOs and executive directors of our 120 plus members together, and how they share information, ask each other questions, use each other for support through our network, that brings us a lot of joy throughout the year. I mean, just knowing that they have a space to come.
Right. And San Antonio is such a giving city. That it really must, and the same question to you. I mean, it must make your job at least a little easier.
It does. I think too. Kind of piggybacking off of Scott, today is the day. This 24 hours is like, again, I feel like giddy right now. But for me, my personal favorite thing about Big Give is, besides Match Minutes, is the training camp day. Because that's, we only do it once a year, and so it's kind of like a reunion with all my nonprofit friends, old and new. And what's incredible to me is, first of all, the nonprofits who are really successful at Big Give, they still come to training camp every year, and they do it because they want to share their success stories and their tips with newbies. It's again that network of help. They want to support each other
and paying it forward,
and it's beautiful. And then I just think it's incredible. And then we have panel discussions, and there's a lot of learning going on, a lot of collaboration. Maybe nonprofits learn about each other's work so they can help do referrals to each other. I mean, there's all kinds of benefits of being in that one in-person day. So that's like personally my favorite thing. 'Cause it's kind of kicking off like, okay, Big Give is soon because we're having a training camp today. So that's for me.
And I get the sense, do you get like the larger nonprofits will kind of mentor and help the smaller ones?
Oh yeah.
Well, and some of the small nonprofits
will help
mentor because they do well in Big Give. Even some of the there's some very successul all volunteer run organizations that really do it well, and they share their tips, they share
that's so good
their secrets, because they understand that there's enough. There's how many millions of people in San Antonio metro.
Yeah.
There's enough for everybody out there. It's not a competition. It's a collaboration and celebration.
So, looking ahead to tonight, again, 6 o'clock, when the clock strikes 6 is when it all officially starts. Is there a number to beat from last year, or do you have a number in your head where you would say this is a success, or?
We'd like to beat last year, which was 4.9 million. So if we could go over that 5 million.
5 is a nice round number.
It's a nice number,
right?
And for our community, like Mercedes said, the majority of that is online.
Yeah.
So it's the community that supports it, the donors. So that's our goal. But honestly, I always tell when I'm being interviewed, I always say, whatever is raised, will do good in the community, and the nonprofits will be appreciative, and so will we.
And they'll use it well.
Yeah.
And they will use it well. So again, the minimum is $10, but that $10 in a very short time will go from your pocket to that nonprofit.
And maybe get doubled during a match minute.
And so do we know when the first match minute will happen?
6:10.
6:10. So just put it in your calendar right now, or make a mental note.
Watch that homepage, because you will, that ticker, it'll slowly tick, and then all of a sudden it just
takes off.
It's amazing. It's an amazing
And you just
thing.
sit there and watch it multiply and go, and
then I'm jumping up and down like
yelling at the computer.
And even after the minute, the donations still come in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's the thing. If you don't get matched, you made a donation, you had fun, you helped a nonprofit, and that's the spirit.
I think I told you this the other day. I've always been a game show fan, and to me, this has like a game show-ish kind of feel to it, where you're like, higher. You know, you're yelling
we need
at
to bring you.
Well, you know, we can talk if Pepper will have me. Then, but listen, I know you have a super busy day ahead of you, and I'm so appreciative that you came on here, and hopefully we, with this platform, we're able to put the word out there and everything. But let's remind everybody one more time: the website, the time, all the important details that people need to know.
Thebiggive.org. Tonight at 6 o'clock is when it starts for 24 hours.
Thebiggive.org. Again, the minimum is $10. The maximum is infinity.
And beyond.
Yes, and beyond.
You can give as much as you want. Such a pleasure to see both of you. Again, the event tonight at McIntyre's, if you're in the area and you want to stop by and
come say hi.
And stare at the board and watch the numbers go up.
Yes.
But I'm so thrilled. I do have a soft spot in my heart for nonprofits, and I know I have a good sense of the hard work that happens every day of the year. So I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
And we'll be watching tonight at 6 o'clock.
Thanks for having us.
All right,
Yes.
Mercedes,
Really
Scott,
Thank
best
you.
of luck to you.
Okay.
All right, this has been another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm. Again, thebiggive.org, starting tonight at 6 o'clock, and we'll see how high that number can go. All right, until next time, we'll see you.